May was a pretty weak month for movies in terms of both the quantity that came out of new releases as well as the quality of those that did come out. However, June has a chance to be the best month of movies we've seen so far in 2023. Here's every single June 2023 movie release you should be excited for and my level of hype for each of them going in release order. Starting with next weekend, June 2nd, we have one of the most anticipated movie releases of the year for so many people, and that's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. When the first one came out, it didn't do amazing at the box office compared to most comic book movies, but over time, people started seeing it, and it is now widely regarded to be one of the greatest comic book movies of all time, and early reactions from this are saying it's even better. This is a 10 out of 10 hype level for me. I need to rewatch the first one before I see it. I cannot wait to see this animation masterclass. Then also on June 2nd, we have another 10 out of 10 anticipated release for me, and that's Past Lives coming from A24. This movie looks like a romance, a drama. It looks like it's going to rip my heart out. I don't know. The trailer alone makes me emotional. So beautiful. Cannot wait to see what A24 has up their sleeves here, as the early reactions for this have been some of the best I've ever seen from any movie ever. And also on June 2nd, we have The Boogeyman, and my hype level for this is a 0 out of 10 because this movie looks terrifying, and the early reactions saying there are some genuinely great scares. For me, I'm still a horror wuss. I'm working my way to stop being a horror wuss, but I'm not going to be seeing this one in theaters. I'm just going to be honest with you. Not going to see it in theaters. When it comes out on streaming, maybe I'll give it a chance when I can, have the lights on in my room or, squint my eyes a little more freely. But The Boogeyman looks like it's going to be a big win for the horror fans. For me, it's a 0 out of 10. Now we're jumping to the following weekend, June 9th, and that's when we have Transformers Rise of the Beast. Again, another very highly anticipated release for so many people. For me, this is like a 2 out of 10 in anticipation. I've never been a fan of any of the Transformers movies except the original one. Bumblebee was okay, but every other Transformers movie I just have not cared for, and I'm not a huge fan of this action maximalism. I'm excited to see what they have in store for trying to revive this franchise, but I can't say I'm dying to go out and see it. However, I will be sat there opening night. Then coming to Hulu and Disney Plus, we have Flamin' Hot, the story of how the Flamin' Hot Cheetos came to be, and this is just another one of those corporate biopics we're getting this year, and I'm going to give this a 1 out of 10 instead of 0 out of 10 because I really just don't care for any of these anymore. Blackberry did it so well. Let's just leave that in the past and let's not keep cranking all these out. But I will say I'll give it a 1 out of 10 simply because Eva Longoria's directorial debut, so I'm interested to see what she's able to do with it, but that's the only thing I'm excited for here. The story I could not care less about. Now we're on to June 16th, and that is when The Flash is finally releasing. There's been so many early screenings. We've obviously all seen the crazy early reactions from so many celebrities and famous people alike that are all saying this is like the greatest movie of all time. I'm at an 8 out of 10 for hype level, mainly because, it's a DC movie, it's a comic book movie. I mean, Across the Spider-Verse, I'm a 10 out of 10, but I'm cautiously reserved here. If they pull this off, I'm probably going to love it, but I'm reserved. These early reactions have just been too good. It's just raising my warning flags, but still, I'm excited to see it. Can't wait to see the final cut of this. June 16th, we'll find out if all the critics are overhyping it or not. Also on June 16th, we have Elemental coming out. This is the latest from Disney Pixar, and this is like a 5 out of 10 hype level for me. It looks fine. I can't say I've been blown away with Pixar's latest releases. Just looks like another one that's going to be very middle of the road for the company. June 16th, we also have The Blackening, and I'll be the first to admit I'm not the biggest fan of comedies, and when a comedy just misses completely, I absolutely hate it. From the trailers from this, I'm not looking very excited for this one. I don't know. This just doesn't look great to me. There's like a 1 out of 10 hype level. June 16th is also the release of Wes Anderson's Asteroid City in New York and Los Angeles, and a weekend later on June 23rd will be when it's widespread available for dweebs like me in Phoenix, Arizona. But this is a 10 out of 10 hype level. I wouldn't say I love Wes Anderson in terms of entire filmography, but I'm always intrigued by them. I really like his creative style and his flair. So if he's coming out with something, I'm very excited to see it. Not my favorite director out there, but he's like a must-see director for me, if that makes any sense. But 10 out of 10 hype level for me. Can't wait to see what he's got cooking here with this incredible cast. Then lastly, to close out June 16th, which might just very well be the most stacked date this year for movie releases, we have Extraction 2 dropping on Netflix. I'll say my hype level is like a 6 out of 10 here, mainly because they have like a 23-minute one-take action sequence, and I cannot wait to see that. The rest of it, as far as Netflix originals go, Extraction was fine. It was better than most of them, but I can't say I'm like dying to see this movie. But that 23-minute action sequence with no cuts has me very intrigued. Now we are on to the penultimate weekend of June, and that is June 23rd, and that's when we're seeing Jennifer Lawrence's latest No Hard Feelings. For me, this hype level is an 8 out of 10. It looks like a funny movie. The comedy might not always hit. It looks like an awkward premise of having like a woman go after a very younger man and have him lose his virginity and learn how to date women before he goes off to college, but it's Jennifer Lawrence. She's looking good. This is going to be an 8 out of 10. And then also on June 23rd is when the rest of the world, other than the elites in Los Angeles and New York, will be able to see Asteroid City. And now we are on to the final weekend of June, and that is when Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is releasing. And for me, I don't think that any of the trailers have really sold this for me. I don't think Harrison Ford looks like he still has it in terms of being an Indiana Jones. I know they de-aged him. I'm sure a lot of the movie's not going to revolve directly around him, but still, I don't know. Trailers haven't looked very inspired for me. Wasn't really dying for this franchise to come back. I'll give it like a 5 out of 10 in terms of my hype level, but I can't say I'm going to be like scratching and clawing to see this opening night. However, I do have to watch the original first 4 to get re-prepared for this. I've seen them all, of course, but it's been a long time. So I'll get prepared, ready for Dial of Destiny, and we'll see how they're going to close out Indy's story. But that does it for June. I obviously didn't mention every movie coming out in June, but those are the big ones. Those are the heavy hitters. Those are the ones I'm most excited for, as well as the big commercial movies I'm not so excited for. But let me know about down below in the comments, because we have a stacked month ahead that I think will split audiences in terms of what their most excited for project is. Which project in June are you looking forward to the most? Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I post videos every Tuesday and Friday, and next week I'll be recapping all of May and those releases, because I've probably seen, I don't know, at least 20 new releases in May, and tell you what ones are worth your time and what ones aren't worth your time. As well as next week on Friday, I'm going to show you the last 13 years of me on YouTube, because I've been on YouTube for 13 years, and I'm going to show you every single channel and show you some videos from all the way back to when I was like 12 making YouTube videos. So those videos are going to be great. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next one.